February 12th, 2024. When we think about what it means to pursue your passion, we have this notion that it means drop everything you're doing and go after it. And that's the kind of advice and information that was fed to me as a child or as an adolescent, a kid growing up in the world and believing that, my dreams mattered more than anything. And that is such a, I don't want to use the word damaging, but it's a dangerous thing to be told and to have kind of ingrained in your head for such a long time. The reason being, we don't often have that freedom to pursue things so freely with no consequence. And I've been thinking a lot about this lately because I started this YouTube channel with the goal of beginning to make movies, beginning to make my own films, and explore finally the side of me that has been just dying to come out, but hasn't received any attention, with the exception of a few projects here and there over the years. And I grew up believing that my dream, whatever I wanted to pursue, was so important. And it is, and it was, it still is. But this thing that we're fed as children, which is like, you should be happy, you deserve this, you're exceptional, you're special, fill in the blank with this sort of American exceptionalist idea. It puts into your brain that you can do anything, and it sort of divorces you from reality. Now, that's the magic of a dream, right? Is that it's not it's this sort of ethereal, this thing that sits in the ether that we are trying to strive and reach for. But and I guess by its very nature, it's not designed to be something that is immediately tangible. Okay, so now the contrary is just as bad. Don't go for your dreams. Don't follow your passions. Don't follow your pursuits. If nobody did the things that they were passionate about or excited about, it would be a lonely world of depressed people, anxious people. Just pick a vice, pick some horrible detriment to the self, and that would be the result if nobody did something that was important to them. For me, for whatever reason, that the pursuit of the dream backfired in some cases because it came at the ruin of my financial life. I pursued, I feel like an accomplished, in some cases, accomplished individual. I'm a licensed architect in 2 states. I have my own business. I have a team of people. And I believe as a filmmaker, as a photographer, as an architect, I have a lot, and a writer, I have a lot of things to offer. And I worked really hard for those, but rarely did they monetize to the point that I felt like it was worth the risk. Now, emotionally, mentally, I look back and say, I'm so glad that as a creator, I spent those years developing a broad skill set that would prepare me to do one of 2 or 3 things pretty well. But it really came at a sacrifice that I don't think a lot of people who focus on one thing really intently, have to deal with. So that got me thinking. I was talking to my friend the other day about my idea for my YouTube series launching next week, and I kept saying something to the effect of like, yeah, I'm going to establish some rules for myself. One of those being that if I have to do anything for work that I don't really want to do, then that's like not something that I'm going to do. That's like a hard line. And he was like, is that reality? Like, people have day jobs and then they have their passions outside of their day jobs so that they can pursue the thing that they love while not being disconnected from the realistic fact that you have bills to pay and you have things to take care of that are outside of that passion. And only kind of lucky people get to see that intersect. And I'm sure with enough time and enough endurance and enough patience, you will see that overlap happen where you can quit your day job and do the thing that you love. But more often than not, that's not the case for a lot of people. And for some reason, I felt like having to do something that I didn't want to do was settling. But the more that I've thought about it, the more that I find real pleasure and real joy in creating content, I find that being able to make a living while doing this thing is absolutely imperative. Now, like, what does that look like? I don't know. But part of the journey of the next 45 to 50 days and the new series is that I'm going to be exploring what it looks like to lean into a true desire and a true passion of mine that I've actually disregarded for a long time, or at least not given proper attention. So I'm excited about it. Compromise most of the time does not equal failure. We have to compromise. We have to be willing to say, okay, I'm gonna give a little bit, I'm gonna take a little bit, and then it turns out to work in everybody's favor. So yeah, if you're hearing this and you're in a place in your life where you're thinking, oh my gosh, if I compromise, then I failed, you really didn't. Yeah, okay, that's it for today. I will see you tomorrow. Have a great night.